Live now to New York and speak to Shai Franklin, Democrat lobbyist. Good to have you with us. So it seems after all that incredibly emotional, dramatic testimony that we heard yesterday, first from Christine Blasey Ford and then the refuting of the allegations by Brett Kavanaugh, the end result looks as though it's going to be the same. The vote's going ahead.
Well, the vote in the committee will go ahead, and the Republicans on the committee are on the committee because they represent the Republican majority in the Senate to make sure that the Republican nominations move out of the committee to the floor of the Senate. Once it reaches the full Senate, we could see one or two senators, even a senator like Senator Flake, who wants to vote to move the nomination out of committee. He could conceivably say, I wanted the full Senate to consider it, but I personally will be voting against him. And as we know, Senator Flake is not running for re-election, so he has that opportunity.
But hasn't Senator Flake already said publicly that he is going to back Brett Kavanaugh?
Yes, but he'll vote. I think he'll vote today, and then next week, senators are free to make up their minds and change their minds. Even if Kavanaugh does go through, the timing isn't quite as tight as we think, because the election isn't until November. After November, the Senate can reconvene for what we call a lame duck session, and they could still approve it then. And even when the Democrats have had a Senate majority with a Republican president, they have generally approved the president's nominees. Democrats did not create any big scandal when Neil Gorsuch was nominated last year to fill a vacancy on the Supreme Court. The idea that the Democrats just pulled this scandal out of thin air, there was some big Clinton operation to make this happen, it's not credible. But the people who voted for Donald Trump, knowing everything that we knew about Donald Trump, everything that was alleged about Donald Trump, I don't think that those Republicans, men or women, are significantly going to change their vote in the midterm based on this nomination and on if he's confirmed. If the Republican senators vote for Kavanaugh, there are one or two who could lose their seats because of it. Senator Cruz, who's on the committee actually from Texas, he's in a very tight re-election race. This could hurt him, or he could hope that some Republicans will come out and vote for him because of it, who would not have voted otherwise. Some Republican women may actually stay home on Election Day if they feel too repelled, but I don't think they're going to change their vote.
Just to explain for us, for those of us outside the whole sort of political bubble in the US, I mean, clearly Blasey Ford's testimony yesterday has sharply divided the US as to whether or not she was telling the truth. Is there not now pressure to have a proper legal investigation into whether she was telling the truth or not?
There's pressure, but again, we've been very sharply divided now for over 2 years, since before the presidential election, and there were opportunities. Look, the President of the United States is actively and openly obstructing an investigation and to the highest levels of government and of his campaign, colluding with one or more foreign powers. So the idea that the Republican majority in the Senate will feel compelled, or that the president will feel compelled to launch some major investigation into this nominee, I just don't think that this would be the opportunity to suddenly change course in terms of how the majority and how the White House approaches the judiciary and the law enforcement process.
Really interesting analysis, Shai. Thank you very much indeed for speaking with us. Shai Franklin there in New York.